Tubers, Matt and Roy back once again. You guys at this point are probably asking yourself, Matt, where in the world have you been? Well, been kind of busy lately trying to get everything sorted since I got back into town. Just really haven't had a chance to do any type of videos or live streams. So, figured for Memorial Day, you know what? Let's go ahead and try something here. I'm in the van, my usual spot. Actually, I'm sitting in front of Dollar Tree instead of the thrift store right now, but hopefully you guys don't mind that. I'm still trying to work out some of the kinks with this phone. I'm really not happy with the way the front-facing camera works on here, but I'm going to go ahead and push through. So we got two people here right now. You guys know I've been out of town for a while. I went out to help my aunt recover, and we're going to be going back out again in the next 2 to 3 weeks because she's having another surgery, this time on her hip, and we're going to go ahead and help her recover from that. So doing all right there. I'm enjoying my time away, but it was nice to get back home because there was a lot of stuff that I really needed to take care of here, believe me. 5 people here so far. Hang on a second. I'll be right back, guys. Let's see if you guys, I'm going to take you off for a minute, see if you guys can see that or not. But you can see it's right there when the cars are going in there. They're actually putting little bits of gravel up at my van. So I think I am going to go ahead and move this van out of the way at the moment because I really don't need to get any more scratches and dents and dings than are already on this van, to be honest with you. So let's go ahead and move to a safer location. Woo! My brakes are a little squeaky today. Yeah, it's really wet, so that's kind of to be expected. George Blakely III, glad your aunt is doing okay. Thank you. Yeah, she's doing much, much better. She's pretty much fully recovered at this point. Charlie Lipinski says hi. How you doing, Charlie? I know you've been sending me some messages, and I apologize. Those of you that send me personal messages through Facebook, YouTube, right now, unfortunately, I really don't have the time to answer them. I will try to in the future, but right now things are just too hectic at the moment. So the best way that you guys can ask me questions is through these live streams. Mr. Burns, it's cool and foggy on the East Coast at the moment. No rain, though, unless down south. Yeah, well, it is pouring rain here. If you guys can hear this. Can you? Can you hear it? Probably not. It was raining a lot harder a few minutes ago, but you can see the droplets on the window right there. Oh, let's see. Chris Garrett says hi. Stephen Barber. Hey, Matt. Happy Memorial Day. Yes, thank you. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. And I wanted to take a moment and just kind of recognize what that actually means. We are basically celebrating all of those people that are in the armed forces, be it Army, Navy, Coast Guard, any one of those. And they are all in service for us. And a lot of them have died to protect our freedom. So I want to take a minute and just address that. I have the utmost respect for everybody in the military and what they do for this country. And that is what Memorial Day truly means. It's not just a day that you may or may not get off of work. No other questions yet, and that's all right. I kind of figured this would be a small one because everybody's probably sitting with their family now and having some fun. And I'm just looking, boy, I really need to shave again. I haven't shaved since I got back home. I actually had to buy a real razor and shaving cream when I was out upstate because we left so quickly. I forgot to bring my electric razor. And I hate doing that. I don't know about you guys. I hate using a regular razor with shaving cream. It takes so long. I inevitably wind up nicking something on my face when I do it. I don't know how people do it and not cut themselves, honestly. Chris Garrett, it's storming here. Tropical Storm Alberto was getting the far east side, just mostly rain. Yeah, that's what this is too. This is pretty much from that tropical storm. And if you will go to the Weather Channel, they are nonstop talking about it. And it was bad. Now it's just kind of more of a nuisance, kind of a rain nuisance thing. But there were some areas in, I want to say it was Tennessee, that really got it bad. Maryland. I'm sorry, it was Maryland that got it really bad, and there were areas that were flooded. I actually saw this SUV going down the hill. It was the waters were rushing down the hill, taking the SUV with it like it was nothing, like it was a little toy car. It was amazing to actually see that. Chris Garrett didn't get off today. Well, I wasn't really off today either. I really had to work too, but I did have a chance to go and to a little party that my ex's family had going on, so that was fun. Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, Baltimore was part of. There were some other towns that were affected too, as well. Let's see what else we got going on here. I'm gonna try something here. Let's try it like that. Yeah, I still don't like the way the camera, like, you could tell it's trying to constantly refocus. I need to try to figure this out, guys. This is really upsetting me. If it keeps doing this, I may wind up changing this phone out sooner than I thought. But I digress. Flooding. Yeah, flooding has been the worst of this. It's a rain event, because this is a subtropical system, so this isn't even a tropical storm. This is one category less than a tropical storm, and there's not a lot of winds, but boy, what a rainmaker this thing is becoming. Hope you guys can hear me well. I am using my little Bluetooth speaker here, which does a really good job. Testing 1 2 3. I'm in kind of a playful mood right now. I had a lot of good fellowship today, and ate a lot of good food. Not too much, but ate a good food. She made my ex's mother. She made macaroni and cheese, special macaroni and cheese that I've eaten for many years when I go there and a few other places. She made a ham, and we had green beans, and that was amazing. Chris Garrett, he got his AMD Ryzen desktop build. Very nice. I'd like to see that. If you're willing to share that, do a couple of YouTube videos on it. I would definitely be interested in watching that. 9 watchers and 2 likes. All right, let's see if we can bump that up. See if we can hopefully get a few more watchers by the end. I did wind up going to the thrift store today, and not too much. I did pick up this. You probably saw this in the thumbnail by now. A Maxell premium grade 6-hour tape for 58 cents. And the reason I picked these up is as I've said in other live streams, I've gotten into selling and reselling analog equipment, VCRs, tape decks, reel-to-reels not as much. If I find one, I'll pick it up. But whenever I sell, especially a VCR, I always want to be able to give the person buying it some extra tapes, and I pair it with the remote, and you get a lot extra money for them that way. So always make sure you pick up, if you're going to be reselling VCRs, or even if you have a VCR and you find these good quality tapes, especially the ones that say premium grade, pick them up, because they're really, really popular. They're much better picture reproduction. They use actually metal particles in the tape that actually helps it pick up the image better. I don't know all the technical aspects of it, but much better than the standard grade tapes. And yes, I did go to the dollar store today because, as most of you guys know by now, I know I say that a lot. I need to stop saying that. I get a certain kind of bread that helps me with my diet. It's a low-calorie bread, and they wound up having 2 loaves there. I wasn't even sure they were going to get any in because it was Memorial Day, but it is the Nature's Own honey wheat, and these are 40 calories per slice, so 80 calories for 2 slices, because let's face it, unless you're having something like an open sandwich, you're going to be eating 2 slices of this, and I absolutely love this. Even smells good through the bag there. But I was able to get 2 loaves, and what I'll do, because they don't always get them in, I'll go ahead and take 1 loaf and freeze it, and that way I'll have a spare just in case. Stephen Barber, man, in Minnesota or Michigan. I'm not forget what MI was is. I'm sorry. It's 95 degrees. Hope you're staying cool, Matt. I am staying cool. That is pretty warm. It hasn't gotten too that bad here. Let me see what it says our temperature is right now. 73 degrees. So a lot better. But there's a caveat to that. 73 degrees, but we have about 90% humidity right now. So if you're outside, within a matter of 4 or 5 minutes, you are in sweat. You are sweating up a storm. So I'd almost rather be hotter temperatures and less humidity, kind of like it was in Vegas. Vegas was awesome that way. 5 watchers. Oh, come on. Let's see if we can get. I actually lost 4 watchers. Wow. All right. That's all right. What the heck? Somebody around here is not happy that I'm doing this. Oh well. I don't know what I'm talking about right now, guys. I'm actually very tired, and I think it's the weather that does it. Believe me, it's whenever there's a rainy day, it seems like this gets cloudy, and a lot of my friends tell me that too. Really. Robert Jones says hi, Chris Garrett. I would like to see a radio station that uses reel to reel. I saw one once in the '80s. Yeah, I've never actually been inside of a radio station, not an active one anyway. But that would be pretty cool. I mean, reel-to-reel tapes sound really good. They have a very, very rich bass. They don't have a lot of treble, but they have a nice, rich bass, and they have a real sound to them, kind of like cassette tapes do. If you ever listen to a cassette just sounds like the real music. It sounds like the person is there actually singing it. Whereas when you listen to a CD, to me they sound tinny. They don't have a lot of bass. They just sound like artificial to me. And that goes for all types of digital music. I'm not talking about just CDs. I'm talking about digital downloads, MP3s, anything to that effect. And when it comes to reel-to-reels, they sound just that much better than cassettes, too. If you've never heard a reel-to-reel, you're really missing out because they have some fantastic audio reproduction, to be honest with you. One of my favorites. Stephen Barber, my dog is staying inside. She's spoiled. Even in the rain, she's inside. Yeah, I think our animals actually do get spoiled. I know my cats, I don't let them outside because I probably never see them again, to be honest with you. My cats have totally been indoors. Ever since our cat, we had Simon, the last one, the orange one, he was declawed, so he really couldn't go outside. And the other problem is we're very close to a highway, so I wouldn't trust that they wouldn't go on the highway and get run over. And I think it's just better in general for their health. You know, when you have pets that are outside, they're subjected to Lyme disease, West Nile virus. You have rabies. When they're inside, you don't have to worry about those things. And to be honest with you, my cats could care less. Even when I open the door, they're really scared. The most adventurous one really is Baxter, and he'll try to sneak into the garage once in a while. But if I open the front door, they bolt the other way. Come on, guys. Let's get some more questions here. Well, until then, I'll just give you guys kind of an update. Again, we're going to be going out of town probably in the next few weeks. I'm thinking it's probably going to be somewhere around the 12th or the 13th. We want to get to my aunt's house a few days prior, just in case the car breaks down or there's some other thing that happens, because we don't want to be doing what we did last time, going up there at the last minute, because I forgot to bring half my stuff with me. I mean, it was crazy. We get up there a little early, maybe just relax, have a couple of days where we can just kind of veg for a while. And then the big day comes, and I'm probably going to be up there another week or two after that. I don't know. We're gonna play it by ear. I'm getting my financial stuff in order right now, so I don't have to worry about having to make money while we're gone. Though I probably will anyway. Gunther, welcome back to Virginia. Thank you. Even though it's going to be a short welcome back at this point. No, nothing else. Okay. Well, this is kind of a slow one. This may wind up being a pretty short live stream. I just figured it was a week out since my last video, and I didn't want you guys to think I was dead or something. Believe me, I heard enough about it from the people locally that watch my videos. They're like, Matt, why haven't you put up a new video recently? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just really busy. I got this going on. I got that going on. I tell you, sometimes life just happens, and it happens way too in your face. Gunther 8544, did you get any new walking shoes? Well, I did get new shoes. They're not specifically walking shoes. They're white and gray of Avias. I got them at Boscov's. My other ones are actually holding up really well. My Coleman shoes. Let's see if I can pull one off so you guys can see them. I've had these now for, I would say, maybe 5 or 6 months. You can see for the most part, they're in good shape. They're kind of gray and red. You can see the good old Coleman logo right there. On the bottom, they are starting to wear a little bit. These all used to be red. You can kind of see my foot pattern. You can see how I kind of wear the sides out first. But for the most part, I mean, if you look at it like this way, you can see that there's still some grips there. Not too much, but enough. And I have another pair like this that I hardly ever wear. So, you know, I'm actually good with shoes for a while. What I keep having to do is buy new pants. Actually, I'll tell you this funny story. I wanted to bring something fancy to go up with, so I brought my only pair of khaki tan colored pants that I had, and those are the only pants I had left. I had to get rid of everything else because nothing fits me anymore. And yeah, if you see me struggling, it's because I'm trying to get my shoe back on. So I brought that up. Luckily, we didn't have to go to any fancy restaurants or anything like that that required pants, because these were 44-inch waist, and I couldn't even get them to fit anymore. So, moving on with the story, about 2 days before we're ready to leave to go home, when we were at my uncle's house, my uncle's neighbor, who we've been friends with for a very long time, she reminded me that they have this clothing bank that she works at, and she's like, why don't you come check it out there? I think they may have some pants your size. So I went there Saturday, which is like 3 days before we left. Got up there at the clothing bank around 10, which, believe it or not, is a feat in itself, because it's on the second floor of one of the old buildings in downtown Green, and it's got these really, really steep steps that I don't even know how the elderly people get up there. My dad has a hard time getting up those steps. So I got up there, and I started looking at these pants. They had a gray pair of pants and another khaki pair that I wound up picking up. And amazingly, they were close enough in size. One is a 40-inch waist. It's 30-inch ins. No, 40-29 and 38-29. So one is a 40-inch waist. The other is a 38-inch waist. And they're both the 29 inseam. If you don't know what that is, that's like the length of the pants themselves. And I got home fully expecting the 40 to fit, hopefully. The 38, I said, now I'm probably going to have to work my way down to that. But you know what, guys? I am a 38 waist now, officially, and I was blown away. I can't even remember the last time I was a 38 waist. When I was in high school, I was a 42. That was the smallest waist I was, and that was when, like, the freshman, sophomore year in high school. By the time I was a junior, I was like a 46 or a 48 waist. So I can't even remember the last time I've been at a 38 waist. Granted, I may not get much thinner than that. I think at the end of the day, I'll probably wind up wearing something like a 34 or a 36. But even at a 38, that's incredible for a guy my size. I just wanted to tell you guys that story. I thought you might get a kick out of it. Oh, my stomach's rumbling a little bit. Shouldn't be. I just ate. Robert Jones says he has trouble getting notifications from me. I've had a lot of people say that. If you can't if you're not, make sure you're subscribed to me, number one, if you're having issues getting notifications. Number two, right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You want to click on that. And if you click on that, if you make sure you click on that once, you will be notified every time I put up a new video. So those are the two things you need to do. And you should be able to be notified every time I have a new video up. I know my questions are coming slow. I think the internet connection here must not be that great. 10 watchers and 3 likes. Come on, help me out. Give me some more likes here, guys. You know I like that. Gunther 8544, congrats, Matt. You will have more options for clothing in the smaller size. Yes, absolutely. I noticed that once I got down to the to around 42, because I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but normal stock, in other words, normal clothes that are not necessarily big and tall, that the major designers put out, like Tommy Hilfiger, and that's the only one I know off the top of my head. Their stock usually goes up to 42. Anything bigger than that, you have to go into the big and tall men's section of a store, and you have a lot less options. The clothing there is a lot more corny, if you will. It's not usually done by one of the major designers. So that is really nice that I'm in a 38 now. Being in a 38, I can pretty much wear anything I want. Pretty much every style of pants out there at least comes in a 38. But again, usually up to 42, you're okay. And we're talking waist here, not inseam. All right, tubers. You know what? I'm actually going to end the live stream here because we're not getting that many watchers. This was mainly so I could get it out there that I'm still okay. Hope you guys really enjoyed this. Look out for some more content coming very shortly. The giveaway is coming up. I have the gift card, and I will be doing that very shortly. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.